You know, at first I was just going to do a little typed response. Yeah, we're doing okay. I'm doing okay. Um, and for the most part, when this lovely comment was left, I was doing okay. But then a couple days ago, something happened that just, again, shows the grieving process doesn't end. It can resurface when you least expect it. So, about a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years ago, I posted on here asking the wonderful interwebs, how do I get rid of, dispose of, partially empty or fully empty oxygen tanks, like portable oxygen tanks, as well as refillable oxygen tanks? Because they were my dad's, and he had kept them when he should have returned them when we were moving in 2010. And the original company that they had been rented from was no longer in business. And we didn't have the tool to puncture holes safely into the tank so that we could scrap them, because the scrapyard won't take them without holes drilled in them, understandably. And you can't just leave them at the curb for garbage pickup. And they had been sitting at the corner of our front door area for almost 3 years. It was a part of, essentially, it became like furniture. I was shoving my hat in there that I wear when I walk the dog, and it was propping up my sprayable sunscreen. Like, it literally was becoming a functioning piece of furniture. And there was like 6 or 7 tanks of various sizes, and one was in a rolly cart. It was artistic. We called the fire department because people on here said, oh, fire departments take them. And our fire departments in various locations said, no, we don't. And there was just nobody who was taking them. And honestly, probably for a year, I stopped trying to get rid of them. There was just other fish to fry and things to focus on that were more timely than the removal of these tanks. Well, then I got it in me that my mom could make some phone calls because, she can make phone calls and inquire about things. So I said, why don't we call, or you call, the place where we had last gotten my dad's portable oxygen tank and his CPAP machine, to see if they'll take them. Even though it's not theirs, maybe they'll still take them. And they did. They took them because we had an account with them, and they could prove that we were, my dad was a client of theirs, that they would come and take them, even though these tanks were not from them originally. Literally called on a Friday. No, called on a Wednesday, and they picked it up on Thursday. And as much as we all were quite done with those oxygen tanks being in the house and collecting dust, and I was getting too lazy to move them when I vacuumed and mopped, so God knows what little village of dust balls was growing between them and under them, it was hard to see them go. They were my dad's. They have been in our life since 2009, 2010. They made 3 moves and it was just another connection to my dad, even though this was not something he was pleased to have in his life. So I'm sure he would not want us to think of him when we saw oxygen tanks, but it was just another way for him to be here still. And my son grows very attached to inanimate objects and has great difficulty getting rid of things, even down to Amazon cardboard boxes. So just the removal of them was difficult, not to mention the connection to them. And my daughter was just sad to see them go. Doesn't remember her grandfather, but was just upset because we were all upset. My mom, the removal of these oxygen tanks reminded her of the day she discovered my dad, because she had found him. And it reminded me of the day after I had arranged with this same rental company for them to come take his CPAP machine and his portable oxygen tank, and just arranging that and them coming to take it. That was just a few days after he passed. It was kind of reliving that moment. So where we all were in an okay place grieving wise, and we had all wanted the removal of these tanks, it was still hard to see them go. Coupled with the fact that, April is his birthday month, it was just, for a while, I was not okay. I'm okay now. It's been a couple days since this happened, almost a week. So I'm okay now, but it was still hard. But thanks for asking. I know when you asked, it probably wasn't expecting a response like this, but that's the truth of it. Sometimes we're not okay, and we didn't expect not to be okay, especially when it comes to grieving. All right. I hope y'all are doing okay, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.